This is Eric Slaby with COSIDA with Kraig, Kann, who kicked off the Sidearm Sports Leadership Forum. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed your panel. It had great information and it was really interesting to learn about.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So in today's panel, people in the athletic communications field, they spend most of their time behind the scenes and energy behind there. But in the panel today, you stated that they need to be more out front and vocal. Why is that so important to personal branding?
A lot of times people just think about the school that they represent. And it's great to think about that school, it's great to think about the athletes, it's great to think about the administrators. But if they don't think about themselves, they're doing themselves an injustice, because at the end of the day, they're leaders just like the athletes are. And they've got to be the ones out there selling the message. So, for example, if I use you and you don't build your brand, nobody knows who you are, and it takes away from your message at the end. People want to relate to people that they know are successful or have achieved something or have accomplishments. So you should put yourself out there, not you necessarily specifically, but as an administrator or as a sports communicator, put yourself out there. Use the building blocks that you have and the accomplishments that you've made to go ahead and become a thought leader in the industry, and it adds value to the university or the college that you represent.
Okay. And in today's world, where there are so many distractions and 24/7 news bombardment, what are your best 2 or 3 ways that athletic communicators can block out that noise and deliver their message?
It's really easy. They've got to think differently than they usually do. They've got to take the outside the box mentality and take that box and chuck it into the ocean and not think about that anymore. You got to find a way to be ahead of everybody else with your ideas. You can't be afraid to go different than the way you've gone forever. I say all the time, don't follow the curve, set the curve. Don't be afraid to take your ideas to the room with authority. Don't be afraid to get your shot blocked. You're going to make mistakes, but if you don't try to be different than everybody else, you're not going to get there. The other important thing is your message. Your message has to be concise, it's got to be memorable, and it's got to be repeatable. Of all the things, those are important, but it's also got to be strategic and it's got to have a connection. You've got to create a stickiness factor, if you understand what that means. You've got to get people to be able to say, ooh, I like that, and I'm going to go share that with somebody else, and I'm going to go talk to them about it. Because if we go to a movie, right, at the end of that movie, you're going to go tell people what the ending was like. When you watched my talk in there, you had me sized up from the very beginning. You said either this guy's going to be decent, this guy, I don't know if I like him that much, or it's a wait and see for me, or, you know what, I didn't like this guy at all. But you're going to have an opinion. So if everybody's going to have an opinion anyway, how do we take that, maximize it, and go ahead and make a true impact? We don't have a lot of time. I got to get you undistracted because you're distracted anyway. And the only way I can do that is to think differently, think strategically, and be a risk taker.
Fantastic answer. And for COSIDA members, what is your one takeaway from this convention so far?
Well, first off, I had everybody's attention. That's good, and that's not that easy. There were a lot of eyes wide open and ears wide open and a lot of note-taking. I think that's good. College athletics is growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, if you look at the college football playoff, you know that there's a lot of money. It's a big business. Athletes are being covered more than they ever have. Anybody that's in the media knows that suddenly if you've got 10,000 followers or 2,000 followers on social media platforms, you actually think you're a media member. So your opinion matters. Chat rooms and all those different things that are out there on websites, people have opinions all the time. So I think these folks in here are actually starving for ways to kind of be different and bust through what's always been done. And that's what I saw on the other side. I saw people that are ready to be engaged with new ideas. I think people are out there trying to find a way to maximize college sports at a time when college sports is really taking off.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your time. It was great listening to you today, and just thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. All right.